Okay, and here we are getting into our first game in the first EU Smite Pentaclick tournament with FeverClan against NoStrategy. Bans coming out from both sides, Thorin, Poseidon and Jablonke and Ao Kwong, which leaves FeverClan first pick going for Neith. Neith very strong early game, and with a recent nerf to the Hunters has a incredibly strong clear. In response, NoStrategy will lock in Cupid and Scylla. Cupid actually a hard counter to Jablonke, which has been banned out by the same team. Neith will not be able to use the backflip to escape from the Fields of Love, giving Cupid very good kill potential in the early game. FeverClan is going to hover on Athena in response here. Athena not affected by the Midas Boots nerf nearly as much as others. And Ra will also be hovered over here. Bit of ambiguity in this pick, can be going for either the solo or the mid lane. And Ra will be locked in, brings great siege potential with that AoE heal, and if Lotus Crown is purchased will also be giving his team protections. Finally over to NoStrategy here before the second banning phase, likely wanting to pick up their support here, maybe Geb. Geb is open, Sylvanas also open, Ares, maybe to go with the early aggression of Cupid as Sun Wukong to try and poke that Neith out of lane, though Neith does have a lot of sustain coming out from Unravel. And we will see actually Bastet hovered on here. Bastet, a jungler which has jumped up in the tiers, has extremely good scaling on her abilities, does not suffer from the lack of pen boots nearly as much as others, and will dominate the early game. Ra especially will not be able to get away from those cats. Athena and Neith both have an escape, but still, if used in the right place, they will have little to combat it. Going into the second banning phase, Humbatz is banned out by NoStrategy, taking away that big AoE ult from the team fights. Over to FeverClan. Now, NoStrategy have yet to pick a support or a solo laner. Could see Geb banned out here. Stone Shield very strong against the Athena taunt. Or Ymir. Obviously still thinking hard about this. Going to choose to skip that ban. Option over to NoStrategy, who will hover over Sobek in fact. This is 2012 apparently, and we will see the old Sobek Cupid lane. Fling into Heartbomb and Fields of Love can be devastating and cause an easy first blood at level 5. FeverClan with the options here have yet to lock in their jungler or solo laners. Ra is most likely going in mid, but as I said earlier, he does bring that ambiguity. To combat Bastet in the early game, they can either try for another early game jungler, or go late game with something like Kali, Bakasura, most likely going into the solo lane here, and Tyr. Okay, so both that will be a Ra in the mid lane. Both Bakasura and Tyr, more known for their solo lane roles. Tyr bringing that incredible tanky presence to team fights. Fearless can be a great setup for the Ra snipe. Athena can set up the Fearless with that taunt. And option over to NoStrategy, who will hover over Aphrodite for the solo lane. Aphrodite, an incredibly strong pick right now. Very few counter matchups. The only real ones being Chang'e and Hades. Even then, not incredibly strong against her, and with her being last picked, that option was not left open for FeverClan. Aphrodite will of course bring an incredible heal to combat Ra's, while single target it can keep someone like Bastet or Cupid in the fight a lot longer. In terms of how this will play out, the early game will go to FeverClan most likely with that Neith and Athena, but Ra does bring the siege potential late game, especially if they can secure a fire giant buff on top of that heal. Meanwhile, over on NoStrategy, Bastet will give an incredible early game presence from the jungle. Cupid, while lacking the clear of Neath, definitely has damage relevant throughout the game. And Scylla, well, Scylla is a ticking time bomb. One ult from Scylla and I'm a Monster can turn not only a fight but an entire game, depending on how accurate she is with those. Aphrodite, if Bakasura is the one who goes into the solo lane, then there is nothing he can do against her. She can buy sprint too early on, and if he ults, she can activate it, run away, turn around, stun with the kiss, and then back off if he continues to close the distance with the jump. And there is nothing, and then heal up with the birds for any damage she did take. All of this is like using the ult. There is very little reason for Aphrodite to die in the early game to Bakasura, unless we see some ganks coming in. Against Tyr, slightly different. The stun, if well timed, can stop the Fearless Chain, but that is incredibly difficult. Both her opponents would have sustain, Tyr with the Power Cleave, Bakasura with the Eat Minions, but neither would be up to hers with the birds. And even if she does get behind, she has that safe clear, being able to drop the birds at the edge of the tower and retreat back underneath it. Over in the duo lane, we're going to see Neath and Athena going up against Cupid and Sobek. Sobek and Athena both have very similar setups in the taunt from Athena and the pull from Sobek. Sobek will have slightly more sustain than Athena thanks to the Sickening Strike coming out, not a huge amount. And it'll be interesting to see whether the supports will go Mark of the Vanguard or Watcher's Gift here. Mark the Vanguard will of course give them slightly more tankiness, allow them to take more damage from creeps, allow more aggression. Watcher's Gift will allow for better farming, being the passive allowing them to gain more gold from minions they do not last hit, allowing their junglers, their ADCs to take the majority of the farm. Just waiting to go into game here, and last matchup will be Ra and Scylla in the mid lane. Ra will definitely have the advantage early on there. The heal and the Celestial Beam will easily clear the way faster than Scylla, who has a notoriously slow clear early on in the game, and will have to wait out that early game until she can come online around level 7 to 11, and those ults can really start changing team fights. Should be getting into game soon. Just going into the loading screen. Just loading in. Okay, here we go. Just waiting for all the players to load in here. There has been some trouble with the EU servers, so there might be a few late loads or disconnects coming out throughout these games, but do urge you to bear with us, as they should be few and far between if all goes well. Just waiting for Athena to come in, and we can get started. There she is. Let me introduce your teams. Coming out of the bottom side, wearing the blue trunks, is FeverClan. We have Crapmaster on Ra in your mid lane. Cybernet Crash on Neath as ADC. Ipaku as Athena in the support role with her in the duo lane. Smargoose will be on Bakasura in the solo lane. Zabazu Hack will be on Tyr in the jungle. Meanwhile, on the other side, wearing the red trunks is NoStrategy. Captio Balagu will be your ADC on Cupid. Thornbird will be Scylla in the mid lane. Hercules will actually be Aphrodite in the solo lane. Happy Pritchard will be Sobek in the support role, rounded out by Moo Muse on Bastet in the jungle. It looks like we're going to see a deep wall placed here by Bastet? No, just checking things out. She'll have got vision of Bakasura's heavy hammer there, probably thinking better of any invades. Looks like we're going to have a standard meta start here, although Tyr looks to be moving up. No, he'll keep to his side of the map. Looking at the builds, Sobek has decided to go into Boots 1 rather than the sustain of the pots, but both supports have gone into Mark of the Vanguard. We're just going to move them around here, if it lets us. Tyr, waiting around that mid lane, will be slightly later to the speed buff. I'm not really quite sure what he's waiting for here, which means actually the red team will skip the speed buff, take the blue, and will be first into lane, which means they're going to get a lot of creeps in experience. Yes, they will get all 6 creeps there by the look of it, and Bakasura is going to lose maybe the entire wave. Over on the left side, Happy Plicard and Captain Beluga, we're going to call them Beluga, on the Cupid are out clearing Cybernet Crash and Paku on that Athena. Heartbomb connects there, dealing a decent amount of damage, but with the Moldy Pots, Athena should be able to sustain that back up. Both junglers have actually chosen to leave the solo lane, as Smargoose being able to push out despite the early advantage going to the red team. We'll see an early back from Ra here as he's taken a lot of poke from this Scylla. Not looking good. That Soul Reliquary meaning that he couldn't afford pots to sustain in this lane, whereas Scylla still has 1 health and 1 mana pot left, thanks to that lost artifact start. Over in the left lane, you can see blue team still being pushed under tower here. Oh, that's a big miss from Happy Plicard, and he will eat a tower shot for that. Not able to connect with the charge prey there. Bastet rotating into the mid lane, looking for a gank on Ra maybe. Bastet only Mumu's only level 3 here. Cats will not be up for another 2 levels, but no, instead she's going to go into the jungle here and should be able to steal these away for free. Getting low on mana, so most likely she'll back here and make her way over to the mid camps in time for their spawn at 3 minutes. No, she's going to stay, and Ra has pushed up in the mid lane. This could be an opportunity for a gank. We'll see how it plays out. We can still see Zab is cleaning up his jungle. We'll get that speed buff as the gank does come out. Not able to find anything there. Thornbird is level 5, but will choose to save his ultimate for the mid camps, which will be coming up soon. We can see a rotation over by NoStrategy. Happy Plicard should be able to secure these easily, as Ipaku will choose to stay in lane. Right mid camps look to go to Crapmaster for free. I don't think Zab got over there in time to soak up that experience. Mia on the right lane, Hercules is forced into her ult as Smargo is doing a lot of damage with his ultimate in return, pushed out there. You can see Hercules does not have any actives yet and has gone into that uncommon sash, most likely building into the Warlock sash, but gank coming in from Mumuse. Jump comes out from Smuggers and he should be able to outrun those cats without much trouble thanks to his passive. Bakasura's passive giving him increased damage and movement speed for every minion kill he makes. Meanwhile, over in the mid lane we can see Crapmaster being pushed under tower by Thornbird, not the place he wants to be in with Ra, whose early game should be very strong. You can see here that heal healing up the Crush, which is unable to clear the minions in 1. Still Thornbird is keeping the pressure on, just missing with the Sikkim and the Crush. Crapmaster is going to choose to turn this around, but no. Sentinel will get Thornbird away from that safely. Over in the Joy lane, we can see Belagu is currently slightly ahead of his enemy in lane, Cybernet Crush. They're both hitting 6 around the same time. He's most of the way through 6, whereas CyberCrash is only halfway through. Camps are coming up across the map now. iPaku trying to secure that one for his ADC. Meanwhile, Crapmaster will be back in mid lane running pretty low on mana here. Hercules will get his blue buff, very important for Aphrodite, allowing him to sustain up with those birds. As it looks like Smargoose is just going to place a ward there, not go for the steal. Red buff will be split by iPaku and Zab. Ra should be able to pick up on his return journey. As we see backs come out across the board, items are being bought here. Full Deus gloves and tier 1 boots coming out for Belagoo on that Cupid. Able to get a lot of gold in that lane by pressuring Neath under tower, who's a full boots behind. Both have actually opted into Mana Pot to make up for the lack of blue buff, which is very strange considering both already have a Bluestone Pendant. Sobek has opted into the Reinforced Greaves, whereas iPaku has gone for the cooldown boots, allowing to get more taunts off and set up more abilities for her team. You can see the red buff being split between Thornbird and Moonmuse here. This is very important, as this will put Thornbird slightly ahead of Crapmaster thanks to that split experience. Mid camps are coming up for the second time. Doesn't look like either teams are willing to give this up without a fight. Red team look like they're in a better position here, and it looked like the cats came out, but nothing actually happened there. Mumi is getting very low here. Thornbird going into the ultimate. Crapmaster is backing out of this, and it's iPaku who finds himself subject to that I'm a Monster. It connects, but it's not enough to take down that tanky Athena at this stage. iPaku is still getting very low though. Hyperpicard is not giving out the chase, but it's Thornbird who secures first blood for his team. Mumi is following up half a second later, taking down that Ra. And mid camps are not the only thing Red team has run. Meanwhile, in the solo lane, Smargoose will take down Hercules on Bakasura, as Zab will face off against Mumi's and Happy Plicard here. Right mid camps are still standing, and Zab will actually choose to ult away from that fight. Now, despite securing that kill in lane, Smargoose looks like he's just going to push this wave and not rotate over. It looked like NoStrategy were going to try with the Gold Fury there, but none of them are healthy enough, and they're going to choose to back off of that engagement. Right camp still haven't been taken here. I think both teams think the other was able to pick them up in that last engagement, but they look free to anyone who is interested in them, and it actually looks like it's going to be Zab who will pick these up. Crapmaster getting aggressive in lane, but will not find anything, but a rotation coming out of CyberCrash. He will find the route. Thornbird getting low here. Zab coming in. 3-man grouping in mid lane, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything. Meanwhile, iPaku will be pushed under tower, clearing up this creep wave. That's a big rotation from CyberCrash, which he didn't get anything for, and he's got to be careful here. He could be caught out in the jungle. Heart Bomb does connect. Fields of Love come out. CyberCrash will go down to Belagoo on that Cupid, unable to escape from that cripple with his back leap. It looks like there was a ward here spawning them out, but would it have seen... he should have been able to see him. Strange he didn't back up there. Mumi's rotating over here, perhaps looking for a kill on iPaku. He does have a heart bomb on him, but not enough damage to secure that one. Mumi's is going to hang around behind the tier 1 here. Don't know what he's looking for. His cats are up, who would be able to tank the tower, but whether it's worth it for a 75% health Athena, that's up for debate. Zab rotating into the middle here, still looking for a kill on this Scylla. But it's Muumuse, the red team jungler, who will go aggressive. He's taking 2 tower shots here, but it's Thornbird who will find the kill with his ultimate. Will also find a hit on Zab, who's going aggressive on Muumuse. Neath comes out, but it's Zab who will secure that. Thornbird not giving up the chase yet. Zab sitting about half health, but with that speed buff, looks like he could go away. All comes down to the Sikkim. Can Thornbird hit it? He's going to throw it across the line, but no, it's not enough. And there we see why speed buff is so valued in this meta, allowing Zab to outrun the huge amount of damage sure to come out from that level 11 Scylla. Mid camps on the left are coming back up soon. As we can see, mid lane, Crapmaster versus Thornbird. Thornbird sitting 2 levels ahead on that Scylla with 2 kills under his belt. And it looks like these are going to go uncontested, but we do see Ipaku rotating across here. Is he going to look for something? No, he's going to back off that, think better of it, probably for the best. Red buff is being taken here by Zab on the bottom side. He has managed to pick up a kill on his enemy jungler, cleaning up from a tower dive by Moomuse. Speaking of which, he's going aggressive. Declaw will miss, but they're not giving up the chase yet. The tick will be applied to Smargoose. Speed buff coming out from the Aphrodite link, and the speed buff itself will be enough. One more to... Yes, Moomuse will find the kill, and that is very important. If you remember, Hercules fell earlier to Smargoose, and that will give him pressure back in that lane. Meanwhile, it's Zab who's found out and is forced to Fearless over the wall into his tier 2 tower. Athena coming out as well. 2 ultimates wasted there, just to make sure he could get away from the gank. And Thornbird and Moomuse look set to clean up this blue buff. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Happy Plicard rotating in, but will be deterred by that Ra. Zab will just farm up a bottom camp here for backing. As we see some aggression in the mid lane, Moomuse dealing some damage to the minions, but also taking a tower shot there. Right camps will be picked up by Thornbird. And NoStrategy once again as they lead 5-2. And we can see 2 Ordnance coming out here, Bastet and Cupid, and it will be Cupid that will clean that kill up as Cybernet Crash falls once again, unable to deal with the cripple coming out from that Cupid Fields of Love ultimate. Having sprint and not beads at this point. This could result in a tier 1 tower, but Moomuse is backing and Captain Belagoo is not focusing on it. We have seen a rotation in from the blue team as FeverClan tries to stall this out, and it looks like they will be successful. But we're seeing another wave coming to the tower here. Athena does not have the necessary clear to push this out, but it looks like red team are actually going to back off here. Probably for the best. We are seeing Crapmaster rotate over here. It's a 3 versus 2 in red team's favour, and that's a fantastic sickening strike from Happy Plicard, stopping the Fearless right as it started. And both teams will get out of that just fine. Neath ultimate wasted though on engagement, which didn't quite work out, as Crapmaster takes a lot of damage from Thornbird. Tries to answer in kind, but Iron Monster comes out, and a beautiful Aegis will stop the damage from connecting. He'll back out of this as Ipaku looks for something here, but he's got to be careful not to get caught out of position himself. A lot of damage coming out. As Sikkim connects, Crush connects, and that's another kill for Thornbird. FeverClan have got to be careful. This Scylla is getting very big. Moomuse rotating there just to deter Zab. Godfrey was taken by NoStrategy, which means that mid camps are the only real point of contention at this point. Over in the solo lane, we can see both towers have taken a lot of damage, but it will be Hercules who is winning the tower war, so to speak, as Smargoose is getting very low here. Birds will miss, which means that he's not going to be able to secure the kill on him just yet. Seeing a big turnaround thanks to that rotation in, causing a kill. Smargoose is going to go aggressive here. Ultimate is down, but he's just going to use it to clear out the wave. He's got to be careful not to overextend here. He will get hit by the doves. Is there a back off coming, or will the doves be enough to connect it? Fearless coming in from tier under the tower. Will connect with Aphrodite. He's taking a lot of damage. Can she get back under a tower? Forced into Undying Love there. Will back off. The birds are not out, and she's not healing. She will be now. Smargoose is able to escape with barely any health. The same with Hercules. And that is a 2-for-1 ultimate trade in favour of NoStrategy. Crapmaster finds himself once again pushed on the tower, not surprisingly, as Thornbird is now 3 levels higher than him. He's got to be careful pushing up here. We are seeing heavy ward coverage from both teams on the left side of the map, but very little on the right. Thornbird being dissuaded from his lazy pack there. If we take a little look at the item builds right now, we will see that Ra has built into that Bukatoth and tier 2 boots, whereas Scylla already has tier 3 boots, Magi's boots, and 37 stacks on that Warlock Sash, as well as a lost artifact. Not only will she be doing a lot of damage, but she's a lot tankier than Ra, thanks to the extra health coming out from those stacks. Meanwhile, we're seeing a big grouping on the right lane as Moomuse will dive the tower here. He's got to be careful, and yet he's going to look to take that down, take that damage down, back out. Smargoose is going aggressive here, but the kiss from Aphrodite will dissuade that. Moomuse is looking to turn this around with the healing coming out of his comrade there. Cats will come down. Smargoose has jumped away already, and yes, he will be taken down there, unable to escape from the slow coming out of those kiddies. Thornbird strangely backing up here. Will have seen Zab on that rotation, who looks to try and, like he's going to try and defend this blue buff. Not much he can do here. He is now 5 levels behind Moomuse, despite being only 1-0. Moomuse does have 2 kills on him, but also death. But it's the farming that is really getting to him here. Moomuse constantly invading FeverClan's jungle, taking away those buffs, taking away his opponent's farm, and putting himself ahead because of it. You can see duo lanes have once again reunited as they square off here, a 2-level difference in the ADCs. As in fact, if we look at the grass overall, we're actually seeing an 11,000 experience lead for NoStrategy and a 5k gold lead. That doesn't dissuade Zab from coming in the back here. He's going to be hit by the heart bomb. Fields of Love comes out, but actually Picard will take him out of it. Doesn't matter, the heart bomb will still secure his death. Hypacker's got to be careful he's not taken caught out of position here as Thornbird has rotated in. Raz actually going to back near the Gold Fury as the Gold Fury comes up. Smargoose, despite having the advantage earlier on, will take out solo Hercules in lane. Gold Fury is up for contestation now. As we can see, the Central battle being won by Happy Plicard. Bay has finished getting ready, and that will likely be the next point of contention, as Ipaku really doesn't stand a chance of taking these mid camps away from Thornbird unless they want to waste their hog. See, return to lane from Most. Once again, Moomuse rotates over to the right lane and will pick up Smargoose, sitting at level 15, and we'll get back to base before that Neath ultimate connects. Sitting at level 15 over the level 14 solo laner, he has been able to use Bastet's early pressure to his advantage. Now sitting at 4-1 and 3 and building into Transcendence rather than Shifter Shield. This will give him an awful lot of power to go along with the Jotuns. Bastet has some of the best scaling abilities for physical characters in the game, especially if you can confirm all the damage on the cats, and so the damage coming out of Transcendence will be put to good use. Once again, a 2v2 engagement going on in the duo lane. Neither side looks ready to contest the Gold Fury just yet. We are seeing a rotation over from Moomuse, seeing if he can find anything here. Buffs are coming up across the map. Zab will choose not to pick up the mid camps and will instead try and go aggressive on Thornbird here. Does Thornbird have his Sentinel up? Yes, he does, and he will get out of that. He will also use I'm Monster. Just jukes the Ra Snipe as Moomuse rotates over. Tries to turn this round. Thornbird will miss. Moomuse has got to be careful, but the cats are down. Crabmaster dealing a lot of damage to them, taking a lot of damage in return. Crush will miss. One cat is still on him, but he'll back out of that. Hercules is rotated over. Healing will be coming out shortly, meaning they can continue this aggression. Sikkim will miss. Jump will miss. Birds will come out. And for now, everyone looks standing as we're seeing a 3-for-2 grouping in the mid lane, but that's going to turn into a 4 versus 3. Thornbird is rooted by Cybernet Crash, who's sitting on a Crush herself. She's going to turn around, try and take out Moomuse. Meanwhile, it's Tyr who's fearlessing into the tower. Hercules, got to be careful, but no, Tyr cannot find the hot step, as is now Bacchosaurus charge. He big ultimate found, as Thornbird will be taken down. Moomuse on no health. Kiss from Aphrodite will miss. Moomuse has jumped away. Smaggers does not look like he can pursue this, instead eat minion. Meanwhile, Flichard will find Zab in the mid lane. Now, Smargoose is going to have to be careful not to be caught out here. He's got Hercules on one side, Plicard and Belagoo on the other. He's going to try for a sneaky back here. Will he get it in time? Yes, he will. Kiss and Heartbomb are going to miss there, and that will be a 1-for-1 trade. But after all of that, it is Red Team and NoStrategy who will be going for the Gold Fury. Happy Plicard and Hercules do not have the damage, but with Muumuus rotating in and Belagoo, it'll be more than enough to burn this down. Will they be able to get it? Yes. Paku is not able to steal that away. A nice two-man route from Neath will not be enough, as Paku is forced to go into the enemy jungle, and the Ticks will, yes, the Ticks will get it, and Muumuus will secure for themselves another kill. Cybernet Crash will back off into the Juro lane, as Zab thinks better of any aggression, sitting only level 10 at the 20-minute mark. Will almost secure these mid-camps? Yes, will secure the mid-camps for himself. Ra using abilities to speed up, and Hercules is actually going to teleport to tower. Muumuus will find Cybernet Crash in the Juro lane, as Hercules protects his tier 2 tower. Getting a big grouping in the Juro lane here. Fields of Love come out, Happy Plicard is able to disengage, Zab getting messed out by that Cupid ultimate. Take a quick look at builds here. We can see that Athena has opted into the Heart Ward amulet, whereas Plicard on Sobek has opted into Sovereignty. Sovereignty will give physical protection to himself and magical protection to the team, and the opposite for Heart Ward amulet, meaning that Athena is likely more worried about the damage coming out from Sobek to herself. Yet again, we are seeing a solo kill by Hercules in the solo lane. These solo lanes constantly trading out against each other. Hercules able to maintain a slight lead there thanks to the influence coming out from his jungler Muumuus. The next major point of contention will be the Fire Giant. We have not seen any wards yet placed in the pit, despite him being up for 11 minutes already. In terms of towers, we can see 3 tier 1s have fallen for FeverClan, whereas only 1 tier 1 has fallen for NoStrategy. That being said, the mid lane tower looks like it's holding on by a thread at this point, and likely a couple of auto attacks at most will fell it. Seeing rotation over here by Thornbird, trying to pick up this tower. Neath has strong clear, so it's unlikely they'll be able to get this minion wave intact, and we're actually going to see Thornbird pop his Aegis there. Probably a misclick, I imagine, but Crapmaster will rotate in himself, but it's Cybernet Crash who will be caught out. Still ult not needed there. Crapmaster walks into the Cupid ult and will be mezzed by it, but has a heart bomb on him as well, despite Celestial being connecting, and it's Thornbird, no! Able to juke the crush. Thornbird still looking for the kill. There's a minion wave in there, but Second will miss as well. Curtin Bigelow's taken a lot of damage, and he could go down here, but the cats are down, and Muumuus will find the kill onto Crapmaster. Thornbird and Muumuus both very low here. Cats will move on to Ipaku and pick him up a second kill. Sab looking for aggression here. Very low on mana though. Doesn't look like he'll be able to pursue this. Thornbird very low on health, but the only other remaining member of Team FeverClan is on the other side of the map and will not be able to pick him up. All 3 members of the red team frustratingly low here for Zab, who was unable to do anything about it. Probably hung around too long here. Would have been better for him to either go and farm or go back to base and heal, as he was never going to be able to stop them. NoStrategy have got to be careful here, as Cybernet Crash is back up, full health, full mana, and Thornbird is playing a very dangerous game here. One good Athena Taunt and his kill streak could be at an end. See a big Archwave coming into the solo lane here, but Smaragru's is going to be able to clean that up just fine. And yes, Thornbird will be fined by the Neath ultimate and the pursuit from Zab on that tier. 23-minute mark, 17 kills for NoStrategy. FeverClan sitting at only 15. We can see almost 9k gold in favour of the red team, as well as 18,000 experience, as we see the first Sentry Ward come out actually from FeverClan on the Fire Giant. Now if they're looking for a way back into it, the Fire Giant is the way to go. A good pickup at this point could still get them back into the game, as you can see that they have taken that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. None of the lanes are especially pushed up for the red team at this point. You can see Cupid going back in the left lane to try and push it towards that Phoenix. The only one that is exposed on the map so far, but is actually in the right. We are going to see a big grouping as Smugglers is almost caught out, but will be able to get away from that. And now it's going to be Happy Plicard who's in trouble here. We can see a big rotation over to get him from the blue team. They're not going to be able to find him though. All 10 members are grouped up here right now. Mumu's taking a lot of damage from Cybernet Crash there on that Neath, who's got a hard bomb applied. Once again, Fields Alert comes out, but Sprint will be enough to get him out of those. Trading with Captain Belagu, very low on health. It doesn't look like Cupid will be able to find that. iPack with a wonderful taunt will dissuade that. But it is not enough as Cybernet Crash will fall, as will Crapmaster to Thornbird and Zab once again to that Cupid, piloted by Belagu. With a 3-for-0 trade, this is a fire giant if I ever saw one, and it looks like NoStrategy will turn their sights towards it. Now, do they know the dance? That is a question. It looks like it so far. As Cupid is going to be tanking this up with that lifesteal. They should be grouping together here now to make sure the mud isn't too spread out. But they don't even need to worry about that, as the fire giant will be brought down. Smugglers has got to be careful that he's not caught out of position here, as all 5 members of the enemy team are rotating over. And actually we're going to see a surrender come out from FeverClan, giving the game to NoStrategy at 25 minutes, 20-5.